Get me that signal. We need more power.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight on our show, they attack us in the streets, our homes, and even our places of worship, using guns, knives, baseball bats, golf clubs, and even grass trimmers. Of course, I'm talking about teenagers, the scourge of the zombie world, and we'll be looking at them tonight in depth on 15 Minutes. Ever since the plague that turned everyone over the age of 18 into zombies, teenagers have been a source of terror for us all. With an average age of 15, these kids turned killing machines have expressed little remorse in decapitating their parents, grandparents, uncles, and even aunts, rather than just talking to them and emotionally reconnecting with their new zombified selves. Zombies across the nation have been reaching out to our youth for help. Zombie needs are few, but most, unlike myself, suffer from a decomposing larynx and are only able to communicate their needs with various grunts and growling noises. Our requests for delicious breads and grains are met with revulsion and fear. Coming up next on 15 Minutes, we head out to the streets to find out the truth of these ferocious attacks for ourselves. "15 Minutes" has put together a series of 15 scenarios highlighting the ferocity of these youths gone wild. Some of the following scenes you might find disturbing, but consider it a cautionary tale on how you can prevent from becoming a victim of the teenager apocalypse.
Here we are, all set up to go for scenario 4 for Zombie 15. We've got our players laid out here. Hazel's not in it, but here's what her card would look like. This is her life points. These are her special abilities here. She can have an extra light object slot, which you see she's got 2 slots for light objects on the side. Down here is where weapons go. Her starting items are a guitar, a revolver, and defibrillator. Defibrillator is nice because it brings somebody back to life at 1 life point. Otherwise, you have to carry them through if they get down to 0 life points. How the weapons work is you've got 2 slots here at the bottom, a green one and a green/yellow one. Each weapon is one of those colors. For example, this tonfa is a green one, so it can go in the green slot or the green/yellow slot. This hockey stick is yellow, so it could only go in the yellow slot, which is basically the 2-hand slot, is what you call it. How you read them is this can kill 3 zombies, it can fend off 3 zombies, and if you use it, it attracts no zombies because it doesn't make a lot of noise. But this tonfa, well, yeah, it's kind of the same way. It can kill 1 zombie, it can fend off 1 zombie, and it doesn't attract any either. This is how many times you can use it. There's a little token you put on it every time you use it. Like I use it to kill 1 zombie, I would move it down to 4, then 3, then 2. When it gets all the way down here, then I can't use it to kill zombies anymore. I can still use it to fend them off, though. How the game works is you're going to be... The object is for me to get from there all the way over to this exit tile. And along the way, I have to find the keys to this lock. So one of these little search tokens on the board actually has keys underneath it. Is it? Oh, look, there they are right there. See? And you have to find that specific search token. You have to get that. So you have to check them all until you find the right one. And there's only, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them actually on the board. The other ones would contain a backpack, which you can use. You can trade it in at the end of the scenario to select something from the stash of cards that you could use in the next scenario. So if you find a backpack with a value of 2, you could say pick a dog for the next scenario and bring him along with you, and you know, he gets to permanently fend off 1 additional zombie, or you can use him once to kill 2 zombies. So he would be nice to have. And you get to use him for that scenario. And look, a kitty cat. But it's not all animals. There's like rotten meat, a helmet, you know, all kinds of things. A razor blade that you get to carry on to the next scenario with you. How a turn works is you get to do 4 actions on your turn. These include moving, either to another tile or into a search area on the tile that you're in, or out of the search area on the tile that you're in. Killing zombies using your weapon, and you can use it as many times as you want. It's just when you run out of uses for it, you can't use it anymore. You can go into a search area and search, doing either a quick search, which means you draw 3 cards from the search pile, and that will usually spring some new zombies up on you. Or you can do a careful search if somebody was nice enough to leave a weapon in the discard pile, which is the only way you get weapons in the discard pile is if you do a quick search and then you decide you don't want those weapons. You put them in the discard pile, and then somebody else can go back into the discard pile later by doing a careful search and pulling that weapon out. And that's it. You travel through here killing zombies along the way. You can't go through a tile without killing all the zombies on it. While you're playing, more zombies are popping up too. You've got this box, this horde box over here, and every time you pull one of these zombie cards, which you do every time you hear a growl on the soundtrack, it tells you how many zombies to put on the tile with you. This one says 4, but some of them say zombie, or it says horde. So you would take the horde box and dump it onto the tile with you. The number of zombies in the horde box increases every time you use a weapon that has a value next to the loudness. So if I shoot this revolver, it's going to attract 1 zombie. So I take 1 zombie, throw it into the horde box. Eventually, that horde box will get emptied into the tile with you, and you can have suddenly 20 zombies with you. And then, of course, you're in trouble. It's a co-op game. Every player has to get to the exit tile before the soundtrack runs out. I think the best way is to just show you a little bit of how it works by playing a little bit. And I'm not going to play a whole 15 minutes, but I'm going to show you a couple of turns just to give you an idea how it works. Okay, the game has started. There are no dice, so I'm just going to start with Snow over here for her 4 actions. First thing she's going to do is move here. 3 zombies there. She's going to use her baseball bat to kill 3 zombies. 2, 3. They're dead. The baseball bat doesn't make any noise, so I don't have to worry about that. Her next action will be she's going to go here because there's this search token over here, and we got to check them all because we don't know where those keys are. So now she's there. She's got to kill 3 more zombies. So we're going to move her baseball bat over to the 1 spot, and we're going to take out these 3 zombies. And then she's going to use action 3. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. She killed them all. Oh, now you just heard the zombie growl. So she's used up her 4 actions already. She picks up this card because we heard the zombie growl. 4 zombies got to go in the tile with her. You grab 4 zombies, you throw them in there with her. She has a baseball bat and a revolver, which will only stop 3 zombies. And she's out of action, so she's already in trouble. Therefore, she gets knocked over, and she loses a life point because she can't fend off all 4 zombies. Bad luck there already at the start of the game. Next player's turn. Josh, he moves here. That costs 1 action. He moves here. Second action. His next action is to kill some zombies. He is going to kill 3 zombies with his bow. So that's his third action. I'm going way too slowly. Zombies. 2 more just appeared. Yay! So now he's back to 3 zombies. And that was his third. His fourth action will be to kill these other 3 zombies. So there we go. That's 4 actions, and Josh is now in that tile. Next player is Siphon. She goes 1 action, 2 actions. Her 3rd action is to go into the search area. Her 4th action is to pick up this search token, which is keys. Hey, she's got keys. It's supposed to be a green colored keys. I grabbed the wrong tile. But, so she's got the keys now. They don't have to worry about finding keys anymore or stopping to search. That's her 4 actions. Next is Will. 1 action, 2 actions. He's going to kill these 3 zombies with his customized chain. That's action 3. And there's more zombies. 1 zombie. 1 little zombie appears. Hello. Well, Will can fend off 3 zombies, so he's not going to worry about that. He still has 1 action left. He is going to pass. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's safe from the... We go back to Snow.
Zombie 15, or 15-minute zombie, as I like to call it, as that is the name on the cover, delivers exactly what it promises. An exciting, tension-filled 15 minutes of zombie fun. The campaign is excellent. It starts out simple enough and introduces new rules with each subsequent scenario, while the difficulty level also increases. It really becomes quite the game of zombie hot potato as the players rush to complete their 4 actions before that zombie growl sounds off once again, signaling the release of more zombies into your life. And onto your tile. Inevitably, someone is going to make a mistake, and your carefully laid plans that you've discussed for a whole 2 minutes before the game started will be laid to waste before you. There are no dice in this game, and to tell you the truth, that took me some getting used to. Dice are more than a familiar source of comfort when playing a game. They're your source of random results, adding replayability and tension to dice-based games. But there's plenty of tension in every game of Zombie 15. No need for worry on that front. The random factor is provided mainly by the search deck and the weapons that emerge during the game. To some extent, the zombie cards also provide a random factor because you never know when a horde card will emerge and flood one of the players with zombies. It's not a game for the kids. Despite the fairly inoffensive artwork, it does feature teens using weapons and some blood-covered zombies. Read one of the well-written but gruesome scenario setups, and it will become immediately obvious why you won't want your 8-year-old playing the game. Here's a quote. "Your father is lying on the kitchen floor, the cleaver with which you felled him still embedded in his skull." Hey, don't kid yourself. It's a zombie game. Keep the little ones away. Iello recommends it for ages 14 and up, but I think to keep with the theme, I'd go 15 and up. The game is one of the most exciting zombie games that I've played. You're almost sweating when the game is over, and even if you lose, you're happy to a certain extent because then you don't need to set up a new scenario right away. You can play the same one over again. This leads to the biggest problem with the game, the setup time. Depending upon the scenario, it can easily take more time to set up the game than it does to actually play it, which can get old pretty fast. Let me give you a few tips on how to decrease your setup time and by doing so, increase your enjoyment of the game. First of all, in most cases there will be more than one person playing. Give everyone something to do. Have one person set up the zombie deck while another populates the tiles with zombies. And here's how I do the zombie tiles. I separate them into 3 stacks of tiles, 1 through 10, 11 through 20, and 21 through 32. At the end of a scenario, every player puts the tiles back into these 3 stacks, and then, while player 3 sets up and shuffles the decks, player 1 looks at the scenario and says what tiles to pull, while player 2 pulls them out of the correct stack and places them. Don't bother standing up the zombies on the tiles, because once you get started, you'll be tossing them into big clumps onto the tiles anyway. You'll find that setup isn't really that difficult, as long as you cooperate with each other off the clock as much as you have to when you are on the clock. My only real complaint is with the zombies themselves. While it is cool to have a huge stack of zombie figures to play with, and it's awesome, and it's excellent, and great stuff like that, In practice, they tend to get tangled up with each other and cost you a few precious seconds separating them as you throw them onto the correct tile. I have ripped off an arm or two in the process, which is actually right in theme with the game, so no big problem. Tokens might have served the purpose better and decreased the price of the game substantially, but I'm torn because having those zombie figures is just so cool, despite the problems. My solution is that I recommend replacing the zombies with zombie dice in the second edition of the game. These dice would have zombies of differing power on their faces, and even a blank face or two, so it's easy to pick up the right amount of dice and place them on the right tile immediately. Plus then you roll them as you place them, so that you might end up with some stronger zombies to battle, or even none at all. So, there you go. For the sequel, Zombie 15 Part 2, no more Mr. Dice Guy. Get it? Get it? See? Anyway. It would also be nice if the soundtrack for one obviously ended right at 15 minutes, and 2 was available for download on my phone so that I don't have to drag my daughter's Hello Kitty CD player into the living room. It's minor, but it's a bit difficult to tell exactly when the scenario ends, as each track has a certain amount of silence at the end. So give me some obvious signal that it's over and to stop playing. These are quibbles, of course. Overall, this game itself is a ton of tension-filled thematic fun, especially if you like other timed games like Escape or Space Alert. Those who don't like the intense action and play of these types of games should probably stay away. Thank you for joining me in this review of Zombie 15 from Iello. Let me know if you found this review helpful by leaving a comment or sending me an email at elliot_miller@voiceofe.com. Make sure to subscribe to the Voice of E channel on YouTube, as I'll have a lot more thematic game reviews and board game giveaways, and you won't want to miss any of them. Please tell your friends to check out the Voice of E, and hopefully they'll subscribe too. Thanks again, and until next time, keep your brains free.
Get me that signal. We need more power.